Hey guys, what is going on? Clay here with Vision TCG, and today I just got a interesting deck profile. So I've been playing like a lot of Master Duel, grinding Cool Tune and Lunalight, and one deck I've been seeing on ladder a lot is the Exosister deck. And one of the biggest things about the Exosister deck is last format is a very solid choice into the Blazing Dominion format in a TCG since Cool Tune has been out. One of the biggest concern is, RS level manipulation, affecting the typical XZ strategies and sequel strategies like Yummy, Luna, or not Luna, but Yummy, YuGiOh, and Exo. So that's one of the biggest concerns with Exosister, and that's why like a lot of players in the TCG has put this deck down. So I decided to revisit the deck, try to see if I can come up with, certain cards to help in that matchup. Just because Exo is able to play a lot of non-engine, it doesn't really play that many bricks either. So I'm gonna give you my take of Exosister into the Blazing Dominion format post ban list, and I think it's a good video. I think it's a pretty solid list. I plan on testing a little bit more on Dueling Book because a lot of this is just off of like my thoughts. So let's go ahead and dive into the profile, y'all. So starting off the list, everything's gonna look pretty standard at first. So 3 copies of Martha, 3 copies of Ellis, 2 copies of Stella, and 1 copy of Sophia. You can run more Exosister names, but I just chose to keep it like very bland, very standard. Just try to simplify the ratios. Then the little spirit package and 3 Sayori Hime and 1 Aratama. This is pretty standard as well. Her allowing you to just get to Martha is just really strong, or any monster with 800 attack or defense, and then Aratama to get to Achiki, which is like really good. There is conflictions with Dominus Purge, but you still choose to play Dominus Purge in that. Then 3 copies of Betrayal, and then 3 copies of Exosister packs for consistency. These cards are just really strong. This is another reason why you play the Exosister deck, is you have so much consistency with the Betrayal, the packs, the Martha, and the Hime. So you're always just able to get to your engine pretty much. Then 1 Returnia, and then the 1 Call By. So really that's like the mandatory engine line where you're only playing 22 cards in a main deck that you kind of consider engine. And I never really have changed much of it. You can try to play more Exosister cards, but like the card quality of the old Exosister cards are not that strong, so that's the reason I just simplify the ratios. Then non-engine, it's gonna seem pretty standard at first. 3 Fool, 3 Ash, 2 Bell, 1 Shifter. Cards really get into the Cool 2 matchup. Then 3 Purge, 3 Imperm, and then this is a Spice. This is what allows you to have a chance into the Cool 2 matchup. There's not really a lot of board breakers that trade well outside like Super Poly, Droplet, and you don't really want to play Droplet in a deck that plays a lot of hand traps, which it could potentially work, but you also have a continuous spell, so you don't get that much value off the Droplet. So I chose to actually main deck a board breaker and that hasn't seen play in a while, which is Ultimate Slayer. So if y'all don't remember what Ultimate Slayer does, it allows you to whatever specific extra deck monster your opponent controls, you get to send a corresponding type from your extra deck to the grave. And first off, your opponent can respond to Slayer with monster effects. Yes, they can chain the Cool Tune spell card, which is problematic, but it seems pretty strong in theory. I plan on continuing to test it out, and then you're able to send the corresponding type. It forces your opponent to have a lot of, do a lot of responses to Ultimate Slayer. So you're just able to force a lot with the Slayer, as well as it's another card in theory that gets rid of RS, which is the problem with the deck. Plus it's good into like other matchups as well. So in theory, I think the Slayers seem strong in theory, so we're just gonna continue to test it out. It does conflict with Shifter, but like if you shifter not Dragotail, but you shifter a Cool 2 player, they pretty much like already lost at that point. Then getting into the extra deck, 3 Magnifica, or My bad. It's been a while since I played this deck. 3 Michaelis, 2 Magnifica, 2 Carmel, 2 Sophia still, just because they can rip this off the extra deck. So you're just playing 2 of those still. 1 Caspatel, 1 Jimbrine, and then your targets for the Slayers is the Aggregator, which when it's sent to graveyard, you just can target a card that's face up and negate it. Then you have the Link Monster, which is like pretty strong. This is a Tribal Link that can, when it's sent to graveyard, you can send a Wing Beast or Beast Warrior to graveyard, which you'll send the Garura. And then Garura, when it's sent, lets you draw, and then you have the Synchro, which lets you bounce pretty much. So in theory, I feel like this is like pretty strong. So that's just a clean 15 extra deck. The main deck was 40. The side deck is 3 Perulia, 2 Italian Seas, 2 Drone Lockbirds, a Bell, and a Thunder King. So this is the 3rd Bell, and then Thunder King you can search off the Spirit. Then the Floodgates of the format and 3 Secret Village. This is just really good into the Sky Striker matchups. You don't really have to worry too much about Radiant Typhoon anymore, but it's still good into the Mitsu deck as well. And then 3 Dai-Fi. So good into graveyard decks, good into spell decks, and you know, that was like my thought process on the Exosister deck. I think it's a really good deck into the format. I plan on just testing it. I think the Slayers might be the card that allow you to deal with RS, but besides that, so with the format being, you know, Doomsday being Cool Tune and Branded and Striker, don't get discouraged playing rogue decks. I think rogue decks are still positioned well. I think you have like crazy combo decks like Luna, Mermail, you know, just a lot of choices that you can still play. You just gotta figure out like different tech cards, just theorize a little bit more. And you know, that's really it for the video. I'll continue posting more content as this format begins. I'm kind of thankful we had the ban list because the format was kind of getting stale with Dracotel. Like I had to get off of that deck. I was hoping they were hitting, you know, would hit Malice a little bit more, but it is what it is. So this format's diverse. Don't get discouraged. Nationals coming up. And that's it. Love y'all. Like, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.